My favorite Meisner home is at the end of Worth Avenue. You go to Worth Avenue, you go down all the way to the Inland Waterway and look on the left. There are a bunch of Meisner homes. There's the home owned by Cathleen McFarland Ross there that is just exquisite, that she took when it was in very bad shape and built it. This Sunday, if you looked in the Palm Beach Post a few days ago, there was her picture. Kathleen was planning to give on Sunday, when the 1515 building's being destroyed, in West Palm, it's being dynamited in one great moment. She was giving a fundraiser there to raise money for Haiti. And she was having people come there at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning, because that's how charitable she is. This morning, I received a call about 8:30 in the morning from her husband. And Kathleen died yesterday. And I thought, should I even talk about this today? Should I even bring it up? And then I thought, yes, let's talk about here, because we're talking about life. And Kathleen was the greatest of the grand dames, in some ways the last of the grand dames. And she represents what Palm Beach could be at its best. So let's just talk about her life and what she did. I think of Palm Beach as being a place of inherited wealth. It's not. This country is not a country of inherited wealth. Most of the money is made by people who start off with very little. And that's what Palm Beach is. They pretend they're from old wealth. They pretend they're old money, but they're not. In Kathleen's case, she had 8 older siblings. She was from Kansas City, Irish Catholic. Her father actually worked for Singer's Sewing Machine. Her older sister went off to become an actress. And her older sister, you may have heard of Gypsy Rose Lee, you may have heard of Blaze Starr, but the third great stripteaser, burlesque star in the 20th century was Margie Hart. She became the leading burlesque queen. She was famous for the first burlesque queen to pose totally nude. Cole Porter, who in all probability would have been more interested in a naked man than a naked woman, nonetheless wrote a lyric. One of his famous lyrics is about Margie Hart. That is Kathleen's sister. Imagine, and she ends up the Queen of Palm Beach. She arrives in New York in 1943 with wanting to have her own career as in show business. She's in the chorus, and she says that she was a virgin, and she stayed a virgin. I often would not believe that when someone said that, but when she followed that by saying that, I quickly made up for that years later. I believe she was a virgin. She went back to Kansas City. She married her childhood beau. She miscarried, and they adopted a 5-year-old baby. They got divorced. Kathleen went to L.A., where her sister, the former burlesque queen, had married John Ferraro, who was the most powerful member of the Los Angeles Council. And she became one of the leaders, the social and political leaders of Los Angeles. And they went in business together, the two sisters. They had real estate, they had stores. And in 1960, she met a man, a congressman, an older congressman from New York. She married him. That did not work out. He left her for another woman. And here she was living in New York, doing as an interior decorator, making her living. She was invited. She was told someone wanted to set up a date for her with Mr. McFarland, and she didn't want a date. She had her child to take care of, and she said, "Well, I'll see him for a drink." So on St. Patrick's Day in 1970, she met him at the Oak Room in the Plaza Hotel. Now, Mr. McFarland was an extremely wealthy man. He had his degree in metallurgy from the University of Pennsylvania, and he was a manufacturer of chrome, the chrome that were in automobiles. He was the major manufacturer of chrome in the United States. He had factories all over America. So you can imagine just how wealthy he was. I mean, of course, Kathleen knew a little bit about that when she was seeing him, but she went, and they sat down, and were having drinks. And she said to him, and she was beautiful, I should say, she was a beautiful redhead, just a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. And she said to him, "What do you do?" And he said, "I'm a metallurgist." And she said, "Well, gosh, that's terrific. We have something in common." And he said, "What is that?" And she said, "I'm a gold digger."